Hey everybody, how you doing? It's old Terry again. Today I want to talk about, review rather, the new drug they got out called Vraylar. It's a really stupid name for what turns out to be a pretty decent drug. I've been on it for 4 weeks now. I was having some pretty ugly psychosis as well as anxiety, but the psychosis was pretty bad. And the Geodon didn't seem to be cutting it. So they're like, well, what have you tried? And we went down the list, yeah, I've done that, done that one, yeah. He goes, well, they got this new one out. And as soon as he said new, my sphincter just went, whoop. Because we all know what new means. New means ludicrously expensive. And this stuff is very expensive. The only reason I have it is because they've been giving me the trial packs. And so I've been, like I said, a little more than a month. First of all, you taper up from about 1.5s over a week or so. And then you move up to the 3 milligrams, and they see where you go depending on that. Evidently, there's a magic sweet spot as far as time goes. It isn't like a whole lot of atypical antipsychotics in that it works right away. It takes a few weeks to get into your system and really start working, kind of like Lamictal, I would say. I'm used to things more along the line of Risperdal or Seroquel or things like that you take, and a couple hours later you're in a different state. Sometimes good, sometimes not so good. Speaking of not so good, talk about the side effects on this one. Me personally, I've only noticed 3 or 4 side effects. For the first couple of weeks, my vision was really blurry. It felt like I had some really bad glasses on, and it was making it hard to read. It was bad enough that I was a little bit worried about it. 2, less serious, but no fun at all, is drooling. Yeah, it's a drool machine. You have to change pillows at night. You drool so much. Hopefully I'm not slurping on camera right now. The other one I've noticed a little bit of appetite loss. Not a lot, but some. Which, like a lot of us on these pills, we're not crying too much over appetite loss, because we're so used to just needing to stuff our faces morning, noon, and night, especially the Seroquel people out there. So now it comes with a long, ugly list of watch out side effects, but a lot of them are the usual contradictory things. Causes drowsiness, but also causes insomnia, causes restlessness and spastic movement, but then also causes you to lay still and be unable to move, causes constipation, causes diarrhea. But there are some more serious likely ones, but I didn't happen to have them. The biggest side effect is the damage it could potentially do to your bank account. When I called around, this stuff retails between about 3 milligrams a month worth, retails between $1,200 and $1,400. Of course, that's just cash out of your pocket. It is still very under patent right now, and I don't know how much my copay would normally be, because the year just turned and I've got to do the deductible, so I'm still paying on my deductible. But even with my insurance, it would have been almost $1,100. And I asked what would have been like when I got out of the donut hole. They said it still would have been like $500 to $600 a month. So, but if you have the means, I can recommend it. Provisional. like I said, I think I'm in a sweet spot right now, but sometimes you're doing really shitty, really shitty, really shitty. Then you're doing good, and you hope that you maintain that plateau. But sometimes you shoot into over-medicated land. Then it has to be adjusted. If anything like that goes on, I'll let you know. But as of right now, everything's looking pretty sweet after taking it for a month. The only thing I will say was that when they first started me on it, they were titrating me up on 1.5 milligrams. I'm not endorsing this product. Let me put that down. They were titrating me on 1.5, which is going to be at least half the dosage that I would eventually be taking. Not only that, but it takes a few weeks to kick in. And at the same time, they said, we're going to cut your Geodon in half. So what that effectively wound up doing was cutting my antipsychotic diet right in half. And that made everything a lot worse. Because all of a sudden, you go from being on an antipsychotic that's not quite doing the job to only being on half that amount, and then having side effects of a new drug. So we eventually reinstated, took the Geodon back up to its normal levels, and finally the Vraylar kicked in, and it's what I won't say it's overnight, but within 2 or 3 days, my intrusive thoughts have dried out. The voices, not auditory hallucinations, but the intrusive thoughts are so strong that they manifest themselves as distinct voices different than the ones that, when you're talking to yourself or thinking to yourself. They have distinct personas, and they call you by your name, and they feel like they're not you. Those went away. The little voice inside my head that said suicide, ideation, just anytime anything was a little bit wrong. Toothache, oh no, what am I going to do? Suicide. Car won't start, oh no, what am I going to do? Suicide. This one's a real one. Oh no, my towels are so threadbare and worn out, I can't afford to replace all of them. What am I going to do? And it literally popped in my head, suicide. I can't. These weren't even ideations. These were just intrusive thoughts. Can you imagine how embarrassing it'd be to die over threadbare towels? That's worse than that. That'd be a pretty shitty way to go out. So, in another month or so, I'd like to do a follow-up on Vraylar and let you know how else it's been going, because I gotta tell you the truth, it's been a long time since I felt this clear-headed without a bunch of side effects. And I'm not feeling any drowsiness or sluggishness, but I'm also getting 6-7 hours of sleep a night. Pretty good sleep too. So, and that's rare for me. I was having trouble with that before all this kicked in. So it's provisional. Like I said, provisional. It's just for right now. But for right now, I can recommend this stuff. And if your doctor asked you about it, I'd make the one provision that you make sure he gives you at least a month's worth. And when I say give, I mean hand you a sack full of a month's worth of the drug. I got handed a month's worth, and I scored a little bit extra because I don't know how I'm going to afford this stuff once the freebies run out. But turned out life of crime. Yeah, I bet they don't lock this stuff up as good as they do the Percocet. They wouldn't believe it. What did he take? Oh, antipsychotics. They'd have to let me off. That's like stealing a loaf of bread because you're hungry. On the other hand, you could argue that they're the ones doing the thieving because it's so expensive. But anyway, enough about the price. I was having psychosis. I was having extreme anxiety. I wasn't having any mood component to it. But the psychosis and the anxiety and the intrusive thoughts that it took about a month, but they dried up. And I'm almost always symptomatic, but right now this is about as clear as I've felt in a very long time. So I don't know how long I've rambled on for now, but like I said, I'm not endorsing it, but so far my first month experience with it has been quite positive. So who knows, maybe it'll work for you. If they offer it, you can score some freebies, or if you're rich enough just to pay out of pocket, or if you have absolute stone cold kick-ass insurance. I forgot, there's other countries where you don't have to play these your medical care doesn't devolve into a barbaric pit fight for resources. Maybe they'll let y'all have some. Try it out. But if you live in the pit fight that is the American medical industrial complex, try to score some freebies. I think you might like it. I know I did. All right. We'll talk to you later. Y'all take care of each other and be kind to yourself. Be kind. Bye.